I'm Ray, and I just wanted to share today with you a little bit about my what I call my awakening. And it was at a time, it was about 2.5 years ago actually. It was at a time in my life when I had had a lot of experiences and a period of growth. And, I found myself at a crossroads, and, I was kind of not feeling very strong, shall I say. And so I noticed that, I had that part of me, where, I was just in this certain frame of mind, this frequency where, how can I get out of this? How can I change this? And, things started happening to me in, like beautiful synchronicities, like I'd be thinking of someone and a butterfly would show up, or an eagle would show up, or something that was significant to a moment in time where I was remembering something good. And, that those moments were few and far between at that time. I wasn't really feeling well. And so all these things were happening, all these small miracles. And, I remember I got to a point when I realized, wow, I feel better, when I'm thinking about these things and thinking of things in such a way that was kind and compassionate to myself. And, I really started loving myself. And, you know, like I said, all these synchronicities were starting to happen. And, some of them were like so strong, so in your face that, this was spirit source, God talking to me or showing me this or showing me that. And I remember thinking, this feels good. This new way of seeing things feels good. And, I'd heard a little bit about, metaphysics and, a different way of looking at God being raised in a very strict religion, and seeing God, in a certain way where, there were consequences. God was going to have you suffer the consequences. And, and all along I'm like, no, I don't believe that. There were certain things in the religion I'm like, that doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem compassionate. Like one of my girlfriends was telling me how she couldn't receive communion in Mass because she was divorced, but her marriage wasn't annulled. And it just, that was, where's the heart in that? I just didn't see God as being, a punishing God, or any way, apparent to us. So, I always felt a certain way about my religion. I had this strict religion, but I kind of made up my own rules, right? Or I had my own thoughts and my own beliefs on it. But anyway, so here I am in life, and all this stuff is happening, or has happened. And I'm trying to figure out my place in all of it. And I'm trying to figure out, who I am. And I just had this heaviness about me that it did not feel good. But then I had these moments, like I was saying, about these synchronicities. And, I started to think, is this happening to me? I mean, yeah, it's happening to me, but then I started to think it's happening for me. When I had, kind of like when I took God with me where I was going, everything was lighter. I had this lighter perspective, this lighter frequency, this lighter feeling about myself. And, these amazing things that are happening to me. Some of them, I started to think that this is crazy, because we have that logical way of thinking that things are this way and that's it. And so these magical things are happening to me, and I'm like wanting to believe that it is what I think it is, and that it is happening for me, and it's God or source sharing his love for me. And I got to this point where I thought, what if I choose to have this perspective all the time? instead of the old perspective, which was very heavy and empty. And so this is what I call my spiritual awakening, because I wanted to believe that this was all happening for me. And I kind of knew it was happening for me. And then I just said to myself, you know what? It feels better to just believe that this is what I think it is and that it is happening for me. And so I changed how I thought. And I changed my frequency. I changed my perspective about me, about life, about what's important, and and what I thought, was the most important thing for me. And I just adopted this new energy and this new way of thinking and feeling. And I said, you know what? I'm going to believe. I am going to believe. I believe. Believe it is what I think it is. And so I think I'm sharing this with you. Thus began a magical journey for me for the past 2.5 years. My life is completely different. I feel completely different. I'm completely different. And I just wanted to share this with you because I call this my spiritual awakening. And it's actually when I discovered myself, me, who I am, and that I, think for myself and not what society tells me. And I can feel for myself and be compassionate and be gentle and be loving to myself, because that's how we're supposed to be. That's our natural state of being, is, a loving, gentle kindness for ourselves. And I found grace. I found unconditional love of myself and of others. And it's just this compassionate way of living and feeling and being. And it's all because I chose to believe, not think what, other people say, not even pay attention to what other people think about me or about anything really. And just discover the God inside me. And it's just a knowing. And it was an incredible, incredible change. I remember the exact day. I remember I was in my car and I just said, I'm just going to believe this. I'm just going to believe that it is what it is. And so I'm sharing this with you as a message of hope for anyone who is going through this. And, it was just life-changing, completely life-changing. Finding God in you, finding love and compassion and the gentleness and the worthiness, and just by being you, it is our natural state. And thank you for listening. And if you want to contact me, I'd be happy to discuss anything more one-on-one. I think I actually feel I do better discussing things one-on-one with people. So I'd love to share more in depth. If you're interested, you can message me. All right. Thank you, everybody. Bless you and peace.